Dear Diary, so today I want to talk about my lilac perfumes that I have fallen in love with. So first up, I want to talk about lilac. So lilac is something very reminiscent of warm family. To me, it reminds me of a very cozy day at home together with my parents. It evokes a very warm feelings. It's actually a very powdery scent sometimes, and it can be green sometimes. So lilac is quite multifaceted to my nose, in my opinion. So this, okay, I just couldn't let it stand. All right. So today I would start off with this perfume. This is Gucci Guilty Parfum. So this is a new release. It was released in 2019, and the bottle, I would insert a bottle here right at the top so you can see it. So this is an oriental floral. So it has the top notes of mandora, pink pepper, and bergamot. The heart notes of lilac, geranium, rose and violet, and the base notes of patchouli and amber. So on my skin, when I first put it on, this is a rollerball. I love rollerball. I started to appreciate rollerball more now than before. The top note, I do get that very interesting spicy pink pepper and a little burst of the zestiness of bergamot and mandora. I don't think it's mandora. Is it mandarin? Something like an orange, but it's really not mandarin orangey. It's more like a citrusy scent in the beginning. Now, as it dries down, this one takes time. For me, this one takes time. You can't. I would have to be honest that the lilacs just doesn't appear right in front of you straight away after it dries down. It takes time to develop. So after the spiciness of the pepper and the green zestiness from the citrusy notes, I got the geranium first. The geranium, to my nose, geranium can be quite spicy and can be quite green and herbaceous, almost herbaceous, but it's not that soft grassy herbaceous. It can be spicy in a way, and as it dries down, as the geranium dries down, then the lilac's beauty starts to show. This is a very drastic change, like a spicy geranium turned to a very cozy, warm lilacs. Yeah, it's a very drastic change, and I didn't expect this. And when I first got it, I couldn't figure it out. But after a few trying out, after a few application, I finally got this perfume. I finally realized that this is the way this perfume works. It has to be the geranium first, then only it dries down to a very warm, cozy, fuzzy lilacs, and that is just beautiful. And as it dries down, furthermore, the sweetness will come out more with like a sweet powderiness, just a tiny bit of sweetness. And as it dries down to the further end, I don't really get much of patchouli, to be honest. It's more like a powdery amber scent, but it's very close to the skin. So this is what I got from this Gucci Guilty. The more I use it, the more I enjoy it. So this is a very lovely lilac scent. So the next fragrance that has the note of lilac is L'Enfant Éclat de Peach. I really like the logo because the logo actually has a story to tell. This is a logo of Jean L'Enfant holding the hands of her daughter. I think it's very warming and it's a very lovely story to tell. So this fragrance actually has lilac in the top together with the green tea leaves, and as it dries down to the middle stage, we have a bunch of flowers which include peony, wisteria, and also osmanthus, and in the base you have cedar, amber, and musk. So to my nose, as I first sprayed it, I really like the beginning a lot. To compare it with the base, I prefer this fragrance in its initial stage, because initially it is a burst of energy of green tea mixed with this lilacs. I have never smelled anything like this. It's sweet, but it's not candy sweet. It's like a tea sweet. Imagine if green tea has some kind of fruity sweetness, then that would be this scent. I think the sweetness actually comes from the osmanthus. Yeah, it actually comes from the osmanthus, but it's quite muted down. It's not really a floral fragrance in here. It's more like a fuzzy feeling of lilacs, like a blanket of fuzzy, powdery purple flowers, and it's a summer weather, and imagine that. So it's a fairy tale background. This fragrance is exactly a fairy tale setting, the purple blankets of lilacs and the purple flowers with some fresh floral scent lingering in the air. Exactly spot on a fairy tale setting atmosphere brought out in this fragrance. So as this dries down, it actually has similar notes to the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. In the base we have amber, moss and cedar. I would say that the lemony tone of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue is quite prominent in here if you really sniff it and if you really pay attention. But I'm not a big fan of Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. I think it can be boring, but with this lilac added in, it actually elevates the whole fragrance. It's not only amber cedarwood, it is a warm, fuzzy, almost fairy tale, a very polite but very pleasing kind of floral scent. Yeah. The third lilac scent that I want to talk about in this lilac perfume rundown is Lilac Love by Amouage. This is a tester bottle that I got years ago. It was launched in 2016. It's quite new. I got it around, can't remember, was it 2017 or 2018? So this is a gourmand heaven of lilacs. Yes, this is a gourmand heaven of lilacs. What I get is a very prominent, almost almondy, like, almost nutty but not too nutty kind of heliotrope, and it's mixed together with this lilac. It's beautiful. The lilac has a green, something like a green fresh tinge to it, and it's mixed together with this heliotrope which has this powdery almondy scent. And as it dries down, it becomes quite buttery but not too buttery. It's airy. It's a very airy fragrance. It's an airy mixture of cocoa. Yes, there is a note of cocoa powder in here, and it's mixed together with this lilac. Oh, it's so good. It's not like something that I would eat. It is not really that foodie, but it actually evokes the feelings of a very comforting, it's like cocooning in a very comforting blanket, and with the air around me, with the chilly but not too chilly, but just the right amount of temperature. It's cool but it's not chilling, that kind of warm fuzziness. And drinking a cup of something like an almond chocolate milk, yes, it's really that warm to me. And you know what, this fragrance just lasts for hours. I mean, I wore it to school way before all this craziness COVID-19 happened, and it lasted throughout my whole working day, and other people can smell it and it didn't offend them. It's something almost very baby powdery like, but imagine a sweet baby powdery like, almost like a baby candy. Yes, almost like a baby candy. Very innocent, very nice, very nice. So the last two, yes, I would like to talk about last two, but not last one. Okay, so here I have chased down my unicorn in my quest of searching for the perfect lilac scent. This is my unicorn, and fortunately enough, I don't know what has happened, I just caught two of them. So the first one is Love, Chloe. Oh, this is actually discontinued. That's why it's very difficult to find. But it's my unicorn. I've been wanting it for such a long time. For up to 5 years. I've been wanting it for 5 years. And so this is Chloe. Love Chloe. This is a very lilac is already very warm and fuzzy and baby powdery like. This is even more so by adding the very special note of rice. This is creamy but not like a liquid creamy. This is creamy in a sense that you get the creaminess, but it's fluffy. It's creamy and fluffy. And oh, this is just the right amount of lilacs and the creamy fluffy rice note. Yes. This is a perfect skin scent. I don't know, but it's really not a skin scent to be honest, because I've sprayed it once in my car and I could smell it all during my driving journey. I could smell it without burying my nose to the spot that I sprayed it on. It's actually not that of a skin scent. I think it actually quite projects well. It's just that sometimes my nose just couldn't sniff it, which is such a shame. So this is a very beautiful combination of lilac and rice. And to make my perfume dream, to make this unicorn even better, I have Love Chloe Intense. Oh my goodness, this is a bouquet of purple flowers. And it's more balsamic, because this actually has peri balsam in the base and this has the rice note in the base, but in the top they are very similar. This has a ton of purple flowers, the heliotrope, the almondinas from the heliotrope, the wisteria, the lilacs. Oh, it's just green, but it's not green leafy kind. It's bushy, but it's not the grassy bush. It's a blanket of all this fluffy cotton-like purple flowers that scent. It's all mixed together, making it almost impossible to imagine and amazing. And at the bottom, in the base, I got this very powdery vanilla and also balsamic Peru balsam. Oh, I can't. I still can't wake up from. I have to pinch myself to make sure that I'm not dreaming. I actually caught my 2 unicorns. Alright, enough of me gushing about. So that's all. If you're peeping into my diary, I would really love you to subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.